The confirmation has finally arrived, and with it, a whirlwind of reactions. The Tesla Model Q, a car that seemed more like an internet rumor than a concrete reality, has been officially confirmed by Elon Musk as part of Tesla's strategic plan for 2025. But what's most impressive isn't the if, it's the how much. We're talking about a model that could hit the market for an incredible $25,000, and with applied incentives as low as $15,999. That's not just cheap for an electric car. It's cheap even by the standards of many combustion engine vehicles. The announcement caught everyone by surprise. After all, how many times has Elon Musk left us hanging with ambitious promises? But this time, the signs are everywhere, from internal documents to prototypes spotted during testing. What's most curious is that for a long time, the idea of a popular Tesla sounded like utopia. The brand has always been synonymous with cutting-edge technology and high prices. So, where does this shift come from? According to Musk, the Model Q isn't just a new car. It's the beginning of a revolution. The promise is to put a Tesla in every garage, not just in the hands of Silicon Valley millionaires. With the global EV market cooling due to high prices, Tesla has decided to aim exactly where its competitors hesitate, at the middle class's wallet. And this isn't just empty talk. Over the past few months, a flood of evidence has come to light. Advanced prototyping at Giga, Texas, public statements from Tesla executives, Deutsche Bank reports, and even a drone capture showing a camouflaged vehicle, smaller than the Model 3, driving around the factory. Everything points to the Model Q being in its final testing stages. And when Musk breaks the silence and personally confirms the project's existence, it's a clear sign that things are really moving forward. The timing couldn't be better. With political tensions in the US, the end of certain federal subsidies, and fast-growing Chinese competitors like BYD, Tesla needed an ace, and fast. The Model Q emerges as a direct response to this scenario, not just to mitigate risks, but to turn the game around. The idea is simple but powerful. Create an electric car with decent range, advanced technology, and an accessible price tag. And for anyone who doubted it was possible, Musk seems determined to prove otherwise. There's one detail that few have noticed, but it's telling. The Model Q will be based on the same platform as the Cybercab, Tesla's robotaxi project. This suggests that the model was designed not only for individual consumers, but also for future autonomous fleet services. That gives the car strategic flexibility that could place it ahead of the curve even before it hits the streets. And despite its low price, the vehicle will still carry the brand's DNA: performance, clean design, and over-the-air updates. While the promise of affordability is already drawing global attention, what's perhaps going unnoticed is how Tesla is shaping the Model Q to be a true chameleon for modern cities. Nothing here is random. The Model Q was designed to fit perfectly into urban life, from the narrow streets of Paris to the congested avenues of New York. According to leaked information confirmed by insiders, it will be 15% smaller than the Model 3 and up to 30% lighter. And this size reduction isn't just aesthetic or about saving materials. It's a direct response to urban traffic demands. In practice, this means a car that's easier to maneuver, easier to park, and easier to live with day to day. Tesla understood that for an affordable model to succeed, it couldn't just be cheap. It had to be practical. That's exactly why the company developed two versions of the Model Question: a hatchback for Europe and Asia, where tight streets and limited parking are daily realities, and a compact SUV version aimed at the US market, where the love for larger vehicles still prevails. This decision shows that Tesla is paying close attention to regional automotive cultures, something many carmakers fail to do. Another smart move is maintaining Tesla's visual identity, even in an entry-level model. The Model Q won't look like a cheap Tesla. On the contrary, it will follow the same elegant lines of its bigger siblings, with a more compact and simplified twist. The look should include clean lines, sharp LED headlights, and an aerodynamic front, all designed not just for style, but for efficiency. After all, when it comes to EVs, every curve in the design can mean more miles of range. Inside, the Model Q will also follow Tesla's mantra of functional simplicity. No cluttered panels or blinking lights everywhere. The cabin will be minimalist, with few physical elements, prioritizing the multimedia center and smartphone connectivity. Though rumors suggest the dashboard may be even more stripped down than the Model 3's, everything points to comfort remaining intact. Expect supportive seats, optimized interior space, and possibly even a UV-protected panoramic roof, a feature already mentioned by those who've seen the prototypes. And if the smaller size make you worry about tight space, forget it. With a redesigned structure and smart use of lightweight materials like aluminum, the Model Q promises to surprise when it comes to space utilization. The sense of interior roominess will result from clever choices like using light colors and placing the front seat higher to improve driver visibility. It may seem like a small thing, but makes a huge difference in daily driving comfort. When it comes to batteries, Tesla doesn't play around. And with the Model Q, the company is betting big on a true energy revolution. The choice wasn't random. To make a high-range EV possible at under $25,000, the vehicle's energy structure had to be completely rethought. That's why the Model Q will be equipped with LFP, lithium iron phosphate, batteries, 53 kilowatt-hours in the standard version and 75 kilowatt-hours in the all-wheel drive variant. And here's the most interesting part. Even with these capacities, the expected range exceeds 500 kilometers under ideal conditions. The brilliance of these LFP batteries lies in their affordability, the absence of rare metals like cobalt, and their incredible durability. In other words, lower costs, greater safety, and longer lifespan. They can handle more charge cycles and are less prone to overheating. All critical factors for an urban vehicle aimed at the mass market. Additionally, the LFP chemistry allows for simpler charging, making it easier to use residential chargers more efficiently. But Tesla didn't stop there. Internal leaks revealed that the Model Q is also scheduled to receive, as early as 2025, a solid-state battery prototype. And this is where the game changes. This technology is considered by many experts to be the holy grail of EVs. It offers double the energy density of current batteries, meaning more power in less space. It also cuts charging time dramatically, from 0 to 80% in just 9 minutes. It's the kind of leap that could win over even the most skeptical critics of electric cars, even if initially reserved for higher-end versions of the Model Q. The expectation is that Tesla will scale this technology quickly. After all, that's what sets the company apart, its ability to turn innovation into mass production. And since the Model Q is precisely the project that ushers in Tesla's new industrial phase, it makes perfect sense for it to be the flagship car for this next-gen battery tech. Another striking figure is the drop in battery production costs, thanks to the advancements at Tesla's factories. The Giga factory in Nevada, for instance, is now producing 536 cells per second, enough to power 500,000 vehicles per year. With this scale and efficiency, Tesla has reduced the cost per kilowatt hour by over 50% since 2023, making the Model Q financially viable even with a smaller profit margin. This is where things start to get really interesting, because it's not enough to have a next-gen battery, optimized design, and an unbelievable price. You also need to manufacture this car on a colossal scale. And that's exactly what Tesla is preparing behind the scenes, a revolution in how cars are built. The name of the game is Giga casting, and Tesla has already shown what this technology can do with the Model Y. Now, with the Model Q, the bet has been taken even further. Instead of assembling the car piece by piece like on a traditional production line, large parts of the structure will be cast as single aluminum pieces, almost like they were molded all at once. Imagine a car built with half the number of structural parts. Fewer welds, fewer bolts, less time. It's like assembling a puzzle with giant pieces, much faster and much cheaper. With this process, Tesla can produce up to 45 vehicles per hour, compared to the industry average of 20 using traditional methods. That represents up to a 30% reduction in production costs, which directly supports the aggressive price point of the Model Q. And more than that, it ensures a scalability never before seen in mass-market models. But the boldness doesn't stop there. The Model Q will also debut a new 48V electrical architecture, something that might sound too technical at first, but makes a huge difference in practice. While most cars still use 12V systems inherited from the combustion engine era, Tesla decided it was time to evolve. With 48V, wiring is thinner, electronic modules work more efficiently, and the car becomes lighter overall. And less weight means better range and performance. This new system also connects to another innovation: wireless communication for internal functions. That's right, say goodbye to the web of cables running through the entire car. Lights, sensors, and other components can communicate via signals, which further simplifies assembly and reduces points of failure. This isn't just a technical upgrade. It's a silent revolution that will allow for faster updates and easier maintenance. Just imagine a car that not only tells you it needs a fix, but downloads the update directly from Tesla's server. This leap in engineering is made possible by Tesla's fully integrated factories. The Model Q will be assembled on the same production lines as the Model 3 and Model Y, avoiding the cost of building an entirely new plant. But that doesn't mean cutting corners, quite the opposite. The lines are being updated to support the new assembly architecture and Giga casting process. This speeds up the timeline and ensures the car will be ready to hit the market in 2025. And it's precisely at this point that Tesla shows it's playing in a different league. While other automakers are still figuring out how to handle semi-autonomous driving technology, Tesla is already a step ahead. And the Model Q, even as the brand's most affordable model, won't be left out. But let's be clear, full self-driving FSD won't come standard with this car. And honestly, that's a smarter decision than it may seem. By keeping FSD optional, Tesla can focus all its efforts on delivering the car at that magical $25,000 price point without compromising what matters most: performance and basic reliability. Of course, for those who want the full package, it will be available. FSD can be subscribed to monthly, currently at $199 or purchased outright, and more. If a current Tesla owner who has already bought FSD wants to switch to the Model Q, they'll be able to transfer the license, something that was previously unthinkable. This gives consumers more freedom and Tesla a level of market flexibility that few brands can offer. And even if someone opts not to add FSD initially, the car will come equipped with a new AI-4 hardware platform, fully compatible with future updates. This platform is the heart of Tesla's autonomous driving system. The AI-4 chip can process an absurd amount of data in real time, allowing the car to make faster and safer decisions than a human in many situations. And here's a detail that few know, but it changes everything. Tesla's FSD system doesn't rely on static maps like the competition. It relies solely on the car's cameras and sensors, interpreting the environment in real time, just like a human would. This approach, known as an autoregressive model with continuous learning, allows the car to improve with every mile driven. It's as if the Model Q is constantly studying traffic, signs, pedestrian behavior, and everything around it. This makes the system incredibly adaptable to different cities and conditions. And with over 10 billion miles driven by Teslas worldwide, the brain behind this AI gets sharper by the day. It's like a driver who never stops training. Again, that doesn't mean the car will be sold as a ready-to-go robotaxi. The base version will include standard features like autopilot, lane assist, and adaptive cruise control, enough to make trips easier and safer. And for those wanting to take it further, the supervised driving mode can be activated or the full autonomous mode subscribed to, which already works on select routes, like those being tested in Austin, Texas. It's worth noting that this tiered autonomy model is what makes the Model Q even more versatile. It appeals to those looking for a reliable, affordable vehicle, but also attracts tech enthusiasts eager to explore the limits of what a car can do on its own. That flexibility might seem subtle, but it's what allows Tesla to speak to multiple audiences through a single product, a strategy that few automakers can execute effectively. If everything up until now already seemed ambitious, wait until you see the pace Tesla is setting behind the scenes to turn the Model Q into reality. The production of this new model won't just be another line in Tesla's factories. It's being treated as a globally coordinated operation. And it all starts with the giants we already know, Giga Texas and Giga Mexico. These two factories are at the center of the strategy to launch the Model Q at massive scale, with targets reaching 500,000 units per year. And that's just the beginning. Tesla's real goal goes much further. In the most recent documents released to investors, Tesla confirmed that Model Q production is set to begin in the first half of 2025. And more importantly, this confirmation didn't come from Elon Musk's tweets or vague rumors. It came from official sources during investor conferences, where any false information can have serious legal consequences. In other words, when Tesla says it's launching, it's because the timeline is advanced enough to justify the commitment. And that, by itself, already increases the anticipation surrounding the release. The decision to produce simultaneously in the US and Mexico wasn't just strategic, it was brilliant. In Texas, Tesla has advanced infrastructure, proximity to its lead engineers, and direct access to innovation lines. In Mexico, the advantage lies in lower production costs and closeness to critical part suppliers. This combination allows for scaling without losing quality control, and more importantly, keeping the Model Q's price competitive even in markets with tight profit margins. This decentralization also enables a fast response to regional demand. If demand is higher in North America, Giga Texas can take the lead. If the focus is on exports to South America or Europe, Giga Mexico can ramp up volume. It's as if Tesla created a flexible production ecosystem capable of adapting to the market in real time. And that's exactly the kind of logistical engineering needed to launch a car with such massive sales potential on a global scale. Another strong indicator of the company's readiness is the certification requests already filed in the U.S. with CARB, California Air Resources Board, and the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. These certifications are mandatory before any car can be sold in the country, and they're typically only filed once the vehicle has moved beyond the prototype stage and entered final testing. In addition, activity has been spotted inside Giga Texas, showing closed-track road tests with camouflage models and constant sensor monitoring. All of this confirms the Model Q is more alive than ever. Now picture this: a random street in any city in the world where previously only combustion cars or high-end EVs were seen. Suddenly, a new model starts standing out. Small, elegant, with that clean Tesla design. But what really turns heads isn't just the look. It's the fact that this car costs under $25,000. By this point, the Model Q is no longer just a highly anticipated launch. It becomes a direct and immediate threat to almost every competitor in the entry-level market. This is where the car's strategic impact becomes clear. Because the Model Q doesn't just arrive as another electric option. It arrives with a complete package, competitive range, cutting-edge technology, a strong brand name, and a knockout price. And it's precisely the combination that puts pressure on models like the Volkswagen ID.3, the BYD Dolphin, the Chevy Equinox EV, and even the new Jeep Renegade EV. The lower price, combined with trust in the Tesla brand and its already established charging infrastructure, creates a formula that's hard to beat, especially in markets where purchase decisions are extremely sensitive to value for money. But the impact goes beyond direct competition. The very dynamics of the EV market are likely to shift once a car, like the Model Q, enters the game. Today, one of the biggest barriers to mass electrification is the high price of electric vehicles. The Model Q breaks through that barrier and proves it's possible to own a high-quality EV without spending a fortune. This will likely force other automakers to revise their plans, cut costs, and speed up their timelines. Those who don't keep up may simply be left behind. And here's a personal observation. It's not just the consumer who wins with this game changer. The entire market moves out of promise mode and firmly into reality mode. The presence of a Tesla at this price point pushes the limits of the industry and makes EVs a product of the present, no longer a luxury of the future. And that has massive implications for logistics, part supply, regulations, charging infrastructure, and even city planning. It's a paradigm shift that begins with a single model, but it's going to ripple across the entire industry. Tesla's goal is crystal clear: to reach 20 million EVs sold per year by 2030. And that will only be possible if the Model Q delivers on its promise. This is the car that could transform Tesla into a truly global and popular brand, present in markets that have long been dominated by cheap gas-powered compacts. And if Musk can maintain the pace of production and distribution, the Model Q could very well become the best-selling electric vehicle in the world in record time.